Look, we've all handed over a shocking amount of our lives to Facebook, right? Photos, who we're dating, every random thought we have. But the most valuable thing Mark Zuckerberg actually built, it wasn't the website we all scroll through. No, it was the system running behind it all. And I don't mean just a few of your profile pictures. I mean, he has your face mapped out and tagged. Facebook's facial recognition system has chewed through over 400 billion photos. It knows you from 10 years ago. It knows you now. And it can probably make a pretty good guess at what you'll look like in the future. And the craziest part? We gave it all to him willingly. Because, as mind-boggling as that giant library of faces is, it's not even the core of his business. The real story, the secret sauce to his entire empire, is way more strategic and honestly, a lot more interesting than just collecting our photos. Yeah, this was no accident, and he definitely wasn't the first to the party. This was a story of deliberate, calculated moves built in very distinct phases, all designed for one thing: total domination. So let's break down the playbook. So the first act in the Facebook story, it's not about tech, it's not about innovation, it's all about psychology. It's about making people desperately want something they can't have. I mean, think about it. When Facebook launched, MySpace and Friendster were already these huge giants with millions of users. Zuckerberg didn't win by having better features. He won with exclusivity. MySpace was like a public park. Anyone could show up. The Facebook, though, that was a private club. You literally needed a Harvard ID to get past the bouncer. And of course, that made everyone else want in. And this timeline just shows the strategy perfectly. The rollout was incredibly slow, incredibly controlled. First, it was just Harvard, then the rest of the Ivy League, then other universities, then high schools. Every single expansion felt like they were unhooking another section of a velvet rope, letting a few more people into the exclusive party. It wasn't just a product, it was a status symbol. Okay, so once Facebook had all the users, the entire strategy shifted. The goal wasn't just about getting bigger anymore, it was about turning all that social connection into an insanely powerful and profitable prediction machine. And this is the fundamental difference. You have to get this. Google makes its money off your intent. You search for best running shoes, and they show you an ad for shoes. Simple. Facebook, on the other hand, monetized your identity. They didn't need you to search for anything. They already knew who you were, who your friends were, what you liked, what you cared about. They were basically selling a map of your entire personality. And the engine for this whole machine? The newsfeed. Before this thing came along, you had to actually go to people's profiles to see what they were up to. The newsfeed brought it all to you, creating this perfect behavioral loop. Every scroll was a little hit of FOMO, that fear of missing out, and that's what kept you engaged, kept you scrolling, and kept you feeding the machine more and more data. And all that data allowed for ridiculously specific ads. A coffee shop could target people who just moved into a 2-mile radius. A wedding photographer could find users who just changed their status to engaged. You didn't ask for it, Facebook just knew. It was unbelievably effective, and yeah, it was unbelievably creepy. All right, let's get to the next phase, because this is really the heart of how the empire was locked down. Once Facebook owned the desktop, the whole game shifted to mobile, and Zuckerberg's strategy here wasn't to invent the next cool thing. Oh no, it was to eliminate the competition. And here is the playbook. It is just simple and absolutely ruthless. First, you identify a threat. Okay, Instagram is killing it with mobile photos, so you acquire it. Then you find the next threat. WhatsApp is dominating messaging. You acquire that. And when Snapchat says no, when they refuse to be acquired, well, you can't buy them, so you bury them. He just methodically cloned their best features, like stories, and baked them right into Instagram. The message was crystal clear. If you compete with us, we will either buy you, or we will copy you into oblivion. Now, this relentless, single-minded focus on growth and engagement, it came at a price. That algorithm that powered the whole prediction machine, the one designed to just keep you scrolling no matter what, it had some really dark side effects. And the thing is, the company knew all about them. So this is the crucial point. These weren't some unforeseen accidents. Facebook's own internal research, the stuff that got leaked by whistleblowers, it confirmed that the algorithm actively promoted divisive, angry content. Why? Because that's what got the most engagement. They knew it was spreading misinformation. They knew it was damaging teen mental health, and they knew it was even helping incite real-world violence. But changing it would have hurt the bottom line, so they didn't. And well, that brings us to today. After running this multi-act playbook, exclusivity, data harvesting, competitor elimination, Zuckerberg has ended up with a level of power that is truly unprecedented. Just to try and wrap your head around the scale, think about this number. 3 billion. That's how many people use Facebook every single month. That is more followers than any religion on earth, more citizens than any nation. And remember that buy or bury strategy? Well, this is the result. Because of those huge acquisitions, one company, Meta, now controls the main way that nearly half the planet communicates. He didn't just build a social network. He bought the very infrastructure of human connection. And here it is. This might be the most critical fact of all. Through a special class of shares, Mark Zuckerberg personally controls the majority of the voting power in his own company. He doesn't answer to a board. He doesn't answer to shareholders. He doesn't answer to anyone. His control is absolute. So this is the question we're left with. It's not even about what Facebook has already done, but what it can do. When a single individual who is accountable to literally no one holds this much control over the way the world gets its information, what happens next?